So we have this third meeting from CatchyAccent's, and today we're going to talk about storytelling, taking from movies, songs, books. You pick the genre you feel most comfortable going over here, okay? And I'm going to ask you, this is the first direction, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself by, like, of course, saying your name, location. If you don't want to say your age, that's okay. Hobbies, you can go over them too, and occupation. And then you're gonna share a story you just liked it. That's the first thing that we're gonna do here. And I'm gonna start, and then you start, and I'm gonna pick the next one. Can we do that? Yes. Okay. Okay, guys, this movie I saw, it's about a monkey, a killing monkey that is locked down in a house with a bunch of people, and he's a baboon. He opens doors and he's aggressive. The name of the movie is Shakma. Shakma. I watched this movie when I was young, and it was a shocker to me because they actually used a real animal there. And nowadays, people cannot do that. They cannot pick real animals and, you know, show them in movies and stuff like that. So when I was young, by watching that movie, I felt really scared because it seems real when the monkey is aggressive and he attacks people. And horror movies, they are my favorite type of genre, and I'm crazy about them. If you feel like watching this movie, you can, I think you can find it on the internet because it's a really old movie. And if you feel like, you know, having jump scares or something like that, and being terrified by a monkey, you should definitely watch this movie. And I haven't introduced myself, but I am here. So I'm Gysa. I am 33 years old. I'm from Belém, Pará. That's the movie that I highly recommend if you are a horror movie fan. Lucas, can you be the next one? Let's go with the self-introduction and just tell us a movie, a story out of a movie or a book that you liked to share with us, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lucas, 22 years old, from Minas Gerais, Brazil. And I would like to share a story. Can everyone hear me? Is that okay? So I would like to share a story about a TV series that I watched. And it's about, in a far future, humans have gathered in a nuclear war. And so the last humans went to space so they could preserve our species and life on Earth. And after maybe 100 years they were in space, they had some malfunction with their spaceship, and it couldn't support life in there anymore. So they decided to come back to Earth, even though radiation levels is still really high. So they send 100 criminals to Earth so they can see, like, if they were going to die anyway. We send them. If they survive, everyone goes to Earth and we live happily. And that's the series. It's called The 100. And I watch these days. It's really addictive and I like it. It's good. I don't know if the genre is, I think it's action. I don't know. It's not horror. I hate horror movies. It makes me scared. I like comedy, and that's it. Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. Can you
pick up one? Pick up the next one, Lucas, please.
Can you share a story with us, Naima? Is he there?
Naima, are you there?
Hi. Sorry, I have a bad connection today. How are you doing?
We are okay. Can you tell us a story out of the novel you've been reading? You say you were reading a novel, right?
Yes. Should I talk about the book first or the movie?
The
You
novel
choose.
you've been reading. Can you tell us a story about the novel? What it is about? Just a story. I think there's something wrong with her connection, right? Naima? Guys? Naima?
Okay.
We lost Naima.
Naima is mute.
So, can you share a story for us, Andrea?
Yes, go
We
to the
tried
next
again later. Her
one.
connection
Okay.
is probably going to be better.
Yeah.
Andrea, you're mute.
Hi.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Okay, so my name is Naima. I'm from Nimlal, Morocco, and I am a science teacher. Today, the movie I have chosen to talk about is one of the movies which won the most Oscars ever. It is a film series of 3 epic fantasy adventure films. It is titled The Lord of the Flies. I hope you could hear me, right?
Yes.
I could hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I said the film is titled The Lord of the Rings. And the 3 films are subtitled The Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers. And I think the Return of the King. The film started by a summary about the era before Middle Age, and it explains that there were 20 rings. 7 are given for the hobbits, and 3 are given to Jane, and 9 are given for men. And the last one is for the Lord of Darkness. It was called Sauron, and this later ring was the most powerful one because it controls the other rings. Okay, so the story is about one hobbit called, if I remember, it was called Frodo. It was accompanied by 8 companions to the mountain of doom in order to destroy that ring. So really it was amazing film. I like it a lot. That's it.
Great. Can you introduce yourself just to everybody, please?
I
Naima?
did, but maybe you didn't hear me. I had a bad connection. Okay. My name is Naima, and I'm from Morocco, Nimlal. I am a science teacher. I am 36 years old. I like to climb mountains. I like nature. I like to practice sport, especially basketball. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Andrea, can you be the next one? Introduce yourself, please, and share some stories out of movies or books.
Sure. Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Andrea from Minas Gerais. I am 35 years old and I'm an English teacher. And today I want to share with you a comedy movie. It was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, the very first movie that Jim Carrey, got famous for, But I really, really like this movie, and I've been watching it recently again. because there's a part in the movie that I'd like to share with you guys. It's it's hilarious. Okay, so he is getting home from work, right? And he has these groceries in his hand, and he comes in contact with the landlord. And the landlord is like, you know, where's my rent? I need my rent money. He's like trying to escape from paying the rent, you know? And I remember that Jim Carrey in this scene, he does everything to try to get away, and tries to hide behind bushes to get all the way to his door. And when he finally got to the door, he just like slams it and gets inside and makes this like call, like, you know, I'm not going to imitate it because it's probably going to hurt your ears, but he calls out, and all of his animals just come out of the they just come out of the couches and the behind the refrigerator and behind the lampshade, and I just love that scene. And the birds come flying in, you know, and he has all these pet foods in his bag. I just love that scene. And basically, this movie, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, talks about how he wants to be a police officer, you know, but he protects pets, you know. Instead, he didn't make it as a police officer. So he protects animals. So he acts as a detective, but really it's just funny because he's just, his mannerisms, his way of, you know, I just find him extremely, extremely funny, you know. And that's it. That's all I wanted to share, guys.
Thank
Anything?
you, honey. Rafael, can
Yeah.
you be the next one?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, my name is Rafael, of course. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Ribeirão Preto City. And I'm going to talk about a movie that I love watching it. It's called Jumanji. There's a sequel, of course. And basically, it's a story about 4 kids in high school. All of them go to detention, and they find an old game, and they start to play this video game, out of the blue. And everyone can choose a character in the game, and they go into the game like real thing. And after that, they notice every character in the game has 3 lives. If they lose a life, they can die permanently. So it's like an adventures movie. So I like this genre. And it's a funny movie. It has action, comedy, jokes, you know. And I find this movie is so great because you feel the character, you know. When they lose a life, you're cheering up to succeed, you know. It's a really great movie.
Nice, very nice. Ícaro, can you be the next one, please?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I am Ícaro. I am 26. I am an English teacher here in Belém, right? I'm from the same city as Gysa. And I'm going to tell you a little about a song, actually, which is a very famous song called Viva, Vida, right, from Coldplay. I think this song is really interesting because it has so much history behind, you know, like there is a lot of symbolism, and especially at the title. I didn't know. I made a research, but Chris Martin, when he made this song, he was inspired by one of Frida Kahlo's paintings. That's why he titled it Viva la vida, right? Because of this painting here, actually, which is a painting that Frida made just before, a little bit before she died. So she gave that name to the painting, right? Viva la vida. It is like she was paying homage for life, even when she was like sick. She was about to die, you know. And the lyrics of the song tells a lot about a king, right? It talks about a king that has he sees his kingdom falling, and because people are rebelling, you know. They don't want to be ruled by kings anymore. They want to choose their lieges. And Viva la Vida has also as an album cover painting from the French Revolution, right? In which you have the freedom personified as a woman guiding the people. But what caught my attention about this song is that it is from the point of view of the king, you know, who is the person who is losing power, the conservative guy who is losing power, and he feels that he can't do anything, and he's losing everything that he loves, the streets that he used to own. But at the same time, he feels like he was kind of a bad guy. That's why he says in a moment of the song, he says that he knows St. Peter won't call his name because he has killed many people. He has done many bad things. So that's just a little bit of the review I have researched here that I wanted to share with you. This song's really good. You should listen to it.
Thank you very much, Ícaro. Oumaima, can you be the next one, please?
Hello everybody. I hope that you can hear me. I'm so sorry, there is a noise closer to me. So first, my name is Oumaima. I am 19 years old. I am a student at the university. And today we talk about a movie I watched it last month. It's about a mother. This mother lost her son. She just went to work, and when she returned, she didn't find her son. And she started searching and searching and searching. And the police said that they will their job, and they will search for him. And she was waiting for a long time, about like a few months. The police announced that they find her son. She was really so happy that her son returned to her. When she met the son, she find that he is not her son. And the police said that just you didn't see him for a long time, that's why you couldn't know him. Just you can bring him with you to the home, and then you will know that he is your son. When she returned home, she found that her son is taller than this one. And when she visited the doctor, confirmed the same thing, and also the teachers of the son. But the police, when she went to talk to them, they said, no, this is your son. So they made her like a foolish person and so on, because they wanted to keep a good image about those police, and they are doing their job. And later they find that there is someone who is a killer, killed a lot of children, and her son was one of them. But she couldn't accept that, and she's still searching for her son, even if this one said that maybe her son was one of those children. So she persisted to look for her son. And what I liked in this movie, that it was based on a real story. This is a real story. I like when I am watching something real. Yeah, there is some changes in the story, but I feel the suffering this mother, it was a real story. And what I liked more is that they keep an open end. So while when you finish the movie, you will think more and more and more by yourself, what's happened to this son. So that's what I like in this movie. And by the way, the name is Changeling, and I really liked it so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Oumaima. Hassan's not here, right? He's off. He's left. Okay, guys, thank you so much for sharing your stories. And now I want to ask a question. Why do you watch movies? What's the thing about it? Like, do you watch movie for the experience, for the excitement? What it is about movies that you like so much? What do you want to feel out of watching movies? Because I like watching movies because I want to feel scared, you know, and I find it really entertaining. Like I said, I have this movie as a favorite, Shakma, the Killing Monkey, you know, and I also like adventure movies and not so much with the romantic movies, but yes, I am a drama movie fan, and I want to watch movies to think about life, think about things, you know, reflect upon society, like really deep things, you know. I want to go through that experience of reflection and everything. But sometimes I just want to light up the mood and just watch a simple movie. And how about you guys? Why do you go through that experience of watching movies? Like, what do you expect out of this experience? And it's a question for everyone. You can reply if you feel like it.
I will replay for the question. Do you hear me?
Yes.
I think movies can be watched for many purposes. First, for entertainment, for spend free time, and also to learn from the others' experiences, and also to learn language. Actually, I love all kinds of movies, especially science fiction movies and adventure movies. I like them a lot. I can see the world through them. That's it. Thank you.
Great. Does anyone want to add more things?
Yeah. It's definitely not because of the horror movies. I I am really scared of them, so I don't watch that much of. But I understand. I understand that the feeling of horror is something good that that cinema knows how to do, right? I think this is a form of art. But what I really like in movies is that thing about message, you know, like the message that a good movie wants to transmit or to pass. I think it's the most important thing for me in a movie, you know. Like, so I watch movies looking for answers for my questions, you know, like about life and everything. So that's what movies are for me.
So picking up language, getting out a message out of movies. Is there anything else you like to add?
I watch movies to have fun, just enjoy time, and you know, maybe I learned something in the process. But I don't watch movies like I want to learn that. I watch movies like I got spare time, I got nothing to do, and I would love to just eat some popcorn and relax, you and watch some good movie.
Amazing. Rafael, want to add more things?
Yeah, I like watching movies because I love learning about culture, especially American culture and history. Usually, I watch movies about history, like the history of World War II, or about Middle Age. You know, Middle Age. Yeah, basically, that's it.
Amazing. Oumaima, what about you? Do you want to add more things into the conversation?
Okay, for me, when I wanted to watch a movie, actually, I spent a long time to search for the suitable one. I cannot just search watching anyone. Sometimes I spent more than 4 hours just to search about the one that I have to watch. And for me, I tend to watch movies that I will learn something from them, not to waste my time. So I like to watch movies about successful people, their journeys, and also like Rafael, I like about historical movies and so on. So something, when I watch it, I will learn something, so I will not feel that I waste my time. So that's why I like to think more before watching anything.
Thank you. Andrea, how about you? You just like watching comedy movies for excitement, best time?
um, why I like watching movies? Well, guys, um, I like watching movies because I like to daydream a lot. You know, I like to put myself in that situation where I'm visualizing something and I'm like, what if that was me? What if that was me in that situation? What if I was, you know, going into that deep tunnel and there's a gang of people there waiting to beat me up. I like to put myself in that situation in my head. When I'm watching movies, I like to, zone out. And that's why I like all types of movies. For example, if I'm feeling sad, I would put on a romance movie and just cry, if I feel like watching a horror movie, I love horror movies, but I don't like watching horror movies alone. Like, I like to be in a group, because that way, if I get scared, there's somebody with me there. And I like watching horror movies because I want to see what happens next. It's always, when you watch a horror movie, it's always like planned out. Like, it's not really confusing or anything like that. It's like the girl is going down the street and then she's going to turn the corner and then, so I like to watch those kind of movies to see what happens next. So usually that's why I like to put myself in that situation, and that's why I watch movies to relax, to keep my mind off of work.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Andrea. There are so many reasons to watch movies, right? For the excitement, or to pick up language if you are watching them in English, to pass time, and to feel emotions. I was wondering if you have ever gone through that experience by reading a book, and if you like reading books, and if you think that reading book and watching movies, they are similar experiences or different experiences, and why? Do I get the same feeling out of watching a movie and out of reading a book? Do books, do they really like touch you in some way? Do they affect you emotionally, and why? This is a question for everyone.
I think go ahead. Go ahead, Iku.
Oh, go you. Go you ahead.
I was just gonna say that I feel the same way about books that I feel about movies. Like, it's an escape, You could read a book and this daydream. First of all, you have to visualize what you're reading. So that's why I love reading books. It's like a movie in your hand right there. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Now you.
I mean, when I read books, I feel like the universe of the book is wider than the one in movies, So I think I could immerse myself more in books than in movies, which are only 2 hours long or something. So I think that for me the feeling is deeper when I read a book. Although I don't read that much, I would like to have time to read more. But I love movies too, so that's it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do you want to add more things? Anyone?
Well, I think I feel the same when I'm reading books, but it depends on the book. Like I remember some years ago, I read the book Marley and Me, Marley and I. When I was reading the book, I cried a lot, because the dog, yeah, the dog dies in the book. And
Oh, spoiler!
yeah. Oh, it's been a long time, so no problem. So I remember when I was reading the book, I felt so emotional. And some years, I think 1 year, after 1 year, I think they released the movie, and I went to the movies, and I I didn't feel this emotion so much when I was reading the book. So I noticed by reading the book, I felt much more touched by the writer. I don't know why I felt more touched by reading the book than the movie.
So we all agreed that reading a book is different from seeing a movie, and we are caught through different kind of emotions and experiences, and the experience is just different. It's just different. It's not the same thing, right? Do you agree with that?
Of course.
Yes, it's different. The same category, but different feelings. I'd say something like that.
Oumaima, what do you think about that? Do you think it's a different experience too? Reading a
Yeah, me
book
too.
and watching a movie, and why?
Yeah, I see that while reading a book, yeah, it has another taste. I don't know. I have just finished a novel this morning, and I still remember every single thing, and I still some feeling with me, and I feel upset because it ends and so on. So it's really has another. There's another feeling with reading a book because you visualize everything, you put what you wanna to see exactly, and it has a different feeling actually.
Great. Have you ever cried by reading a book? And besides, I mean, Rafa said he cried. You
Yeah.
ever
Oh, yeah.
got this emotion, deep emotions out of books?
For
Once
me,
Share, please. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable here. Share us this experience, a crying experience over a book. Have we ever done that, Lucas?
Oumaima was saying something. You can go ahead and say it first.
okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
okay, so for me, because I am a little bit sensitive person, so and every time I think it's something like important, and every time I start crying because I'm not just reading, I am feeling with them, like I am with them, like I am in the story. So I feel every single thing. When they are crying, I can cry also, and because I am so sensitive, maybe.
Yeah, especially if you feel deeply connected to the characters on the book,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you feel like you're experiencing the same things as the characters, and you pretty much feel the same thing anyways.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you have any books that you like to share? Because I have one here, and I'm gonna pick up right now. I'm gonna share the cover of the book, and let me know if you have ever heard about it. I'm not so sure. Oh my god, my camera has been. I'm not so sure if you have ever heard about it. Can you see it? It is actually a bilingual edition. It's a Jane Eyre, the name, and it's in Portuguese, which yeah, it's a mother tongue language here, Brazil, Portuguese, and in English. But I have read it only in Portuguese, and this book really, really affected me in a way that I was not expecting. because it's about this character that is a woman, and she is an orphan. She is mistreated by a family, by her aunt when she was young. And then she goes through this process of suffering. And we actually see her growing up and becoming a teenager. And she turns into a teacher, you know, and she has to live in a different house as a tutor, a French tutor, as a teenager. And this book is actually, it feels like a dark experience too, you know, when she grows up, almost like a Harry Potter kind of experience. You know, when Harry Potter grows up in the books, like on the third book, you get, it feels like a dark movie, you know, not only a children movie. That's the feeling that I get out of this book. When she becomes like a teenager, she grows up, and the environment is so dark, you know, and gloomy. And I don't know, I love this book. I cry with this woman here. It's really recommended. I'm not going to say the rest of the book, but if you feel like going through the same experience, that's the name of Jane Eyre. Have you ever heard about it? Does it sound familiar to you?
I think
No?
it's a famous book because the majority talking about this one, and I put it with my list that I wanted to read because it's really so famous, this one.
Yes, it's quite famous. It's it's English literature actually. There's another titles that are so famous as well. And Jane Eyre has lots of movies too. People have made versions of this book. There are a lot of versions. And the last version of this story is really amazing. I truly highly recommend it. Ícaro, would you recommend us, highly recommend a book to us that we should read? Like, is a must to read.
A must read. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I was about to tell you about the one that I am reading, right? This is the book I'm reading. I'm reading the digital version of it because I couldn't find it in English here. It's a really good book about dystopia. I think that's how you say. It's called Neuromancer, and it was a book that was the one in which they based themselves to make the Matrix, you know. But it is completely different. It talks about a future in which people, rich people actually practically lives in the cyberspace, you know, like inside of a matrix. And that is this guy who is a hacker, and like he's called Cowboy in the book, but he steals data from big corporations, you know. And in a moment in the book, he betrays his employer, the person who who hires him to steal data, and that employer makes a damage in his brain, so he cannot connect to the matrix anymore. And because of that, he gets addicted to drugs, and he becomes a street hustler. And until he finds another player who is going to fix him, and then the book adventure starts. It's an interesting book for me. I like these dystopia stories, you know, and that sometimes are scary because they look exactly like our society is nowadays, or is becoming, you know. Because nowadays we all live in a cyberspace when we are using our smartphones, and we kind of get vulnerable to hackers too. So that's it. That's the book I'm reading. It's a pretty good one. I like it.
Oh, that's nice. Sounds like science fiction, right?
Yeah, it's science fiction. It's from a subgenre called cyberpunk.
Oh, that's something new. I never heard about it.
It's interesting. I like it. And this
There's
is
a
a
new.
classical from the 80s.
Can you repeat the title? Or can you type the title of?
Yeah, I'm gonna type it.
And to us, please, if you get interested. Well, Abdul is here with us, right, Abdul? Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you. How are you?
We're fine. I'm fine. We're fine. We're talking about books, storytelling out of books, movies. and
Yeah.
songs. So, well, there's an airplane passing by here, guys. So,
Interesting. Yeah.
is it noisy? Is it noisy here? Oh, okay.
No,
So,
it's
do you have
okay.
anything to share with us about books? We actually got to this point that we're discussing books, stories that we are into.
Honestly, I don't like reading books. I read articles. I don't like to spend a lot of time just reading one book, but I like to read articles or some texts, small texts. In this way, I don't know, maybe I'm not patient to read the whole books, or maybe I'm not motivated yet to read the whole books, but I think the best way to me is to read just a small text, and also to watch movies. In this way, I can be more motivated. The last, I think 2 days ago, I watched a movie, an English movie. It's a fiction movie. I like it so much. When a guy gets programmed, a person gets programmed, he can be a killer. He kill people. There is a team control this person to kill other people, and has a bomb in himself. He can kill himself too. But this team can create other person like him. Is the same person like him, but he is self-programmed. And in the morning, when he woke up, he remembered that was a dream. The crime that he did, it was just a dream. But he searched the news and find that the people was killed. And
It's
it's
kind of a
amazing.
crazy story. I like it.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, because he will discover that he was programmed with the team to be a criminal, to kill people, and to kill himself, and it's a crazy history. But I like it so much. Yeah, because it's new to me.
Amazing. Can you type it up there? I wanna check this out.
Yeah,
Lucas.
I'll send you. I don't remember the title, but I'll send you as soon as possible the title in the group. Okay.
All right. So I just want to ask another question, but before that, Lucas is telling me, Lucas, I think there's no limit here, right, for the meeting.
Yeah.
Is there a limit? I don't think so.
No, the limit was 10:40 and we passed it.
Oh,
How
good.
long right now?
We
Let me just tell you that we're gonna go, like, we're done with books, then we're gonna talk about songs, and that's it. And we finish the meeting. Okay?
All right.
All right. So Abdul, if you can type it up, the title, and give me the title of that story. It's a movie or a book? It's a movie, right?
It's a movie. Yeah, it's a movie in YouTube. You can find it. Yeah.
Abdul has brought something kind of interesting. When we're not so into finishing a book. I had gone through the same experience. I tried to read that book. I've ever heard about it. And Frank, does it sound familiar to you, this book? It's a really popular book. That girl has to be hidden with her family because she's going through the World War II. And I don't know, because we are going through this pandemic and everything. Okay, let me start this book, and I couldn't stop. If I finished, because it was not so good for me, because it sounds depressing. I know that's a good book, but I actually haven't finished, and I don't feel like finishing this book because I know what's going to happen. It's taken from a real story, right? This is actually a diary that she has written, and I know it sounds too depressing because of the pandemic, guys. So I know it's a good book. So have you ever thought about that, Andrea? Like you were reading a book, but you're not gonna finish because this is, oh, either it's too depressing or just doesn't sound interesting, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you said that because I'm in that situation right now. I'm reading this book here, right? The Estancia Diamonds. It started off really innocent, you know, like talking about the family, and Estancia is like the name, the last name of the family, and everything is fine. But then she starts losing money, like she lost everything, and the only thing she has left is her diamonds. Like it's starting to get really dark, you know. And I take a lot of care. Well, I'm very careful when I'm reading stuff that is dark, because it's like I kind of incorporate that into my life, you know. It's like if I'm reading something that's too dark, too evil, I start being rude to people and start being kind of like, and I don't like that. So I try not to read things that are dark, but I like it, you know. But I'm trying to continue to read this book. I'm kind of scared to finish it right now. If I look here, I'm on chapter 3. So I don't know. Like I've been in that situation before. I feel like maybe sometimes you don't want to finish the book. Maybe sometimes you do. In this case, I want to finish the book, but I'm scared to finish the book because it might be too heavy for me. It might be too strong, you know? First, everything was all like easy peasy, you know? Everything was all nice and flowery and a nice house, everything. Now she's losing money, she's in debt, and now needing favors from men. It's kind of getting crazy. It's getting kind of crazy. So I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, but it's a good book, and that's all I wanted to say about it.
Thanks for sharing, Andrea. Lucas, yes, Lucas?
I was just gonna say that she should throw that book away. Something that
I know, right? God,
No.
but it's so
throw it away.
but it's but the writing in it is so well written. That's why I don't stop reading it, because it's a very well written book, you know. But I feel like I should throw it away, you know. I should just toss it, but I can't. I can't do that. I can't do it.
Write the name of the book. Did you write the name of the book here?
Come on, Ícaro, don't read this book. It makes people.
I can't write it. Look, see if you can write this down. Look.
I cannot. I can't.
Stop slamming my own intro.
Deus says.
I'm not gonna see it.
Naima, are you there?
What?
Mute Andrea. Mute. She talks too much.
Yeah,
Now let's
yeah,
go.
please mute me.
Let's go.
Please
over
mute
to
me.
Naima. Naima, dear. Did you have ever had this, like the same experience as Andrea? Like we're not. I mean, you know that the book, it's good. It's a good writing. It's a good storytelling, but we're not able to finish it because it's kind of heavy to read.
Actually, I like to read books, but the most books I read are in Arabic and French. I'm still new in the world of English books, you know. I just started reading some short stories, some texts, and some novels. I started reading novels when I became a student at the university. As I told you, I've just finished reading one novel, which is called The Lord of the Flies. We are required to read it for our exam. So actually, I still find reading books in English a little bit difficult. You know, I still don't have that vocabulary. You know, to understand easily the English books, but I'm making the effort right now. I'm trying to read books, you know. So this novel I have read, which is The Lord of the Flies, by the author William Golding. It's it tells the story about young boys who find themselves alone on a deserted island during the war, you know, and they try to develop rules and a system of organization because they are alone without any adult person. But a little by little, they lost their civilizing and they become violent and brutal. So the whole story is as a small model about the real society we live in. This is the story of this novel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, can you type it up? You can type it up afterwards so we can check it out
Okay,
if you
okay,
get interested
okay,
in the
okay,
book. All right.
okay, okay.
And now I have
I
a
will.
new person coming here. Right, Heather? Hey, Heather. How are you?
I'm
I
good. How are
love the
you?
way you look right now. I love that looks, really. So
Thank
we're
you.
discussing some of the we're discussing some of the books, storytelling out of books that you would recommend to us. Do you have any?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you. Can you please repeat your question?
Yeah, sure. We are talking about storytelling, like random stories, but yeah, they have to be taken out of books, movies, songs, right? But now we're discussing more like books. What's the type of story that you would highly recommend to us? Like this book is a must. You have to read it. Are there any books like that?
Well, there are many books like that, but the one that I really suggest is, I think, the religious book. I think of course the Holy Quran. I think that the one must need to read this, because this is the only book that can give you the solution for everything, whatever the problems that you're looking for. And apart this, there are several books, several authors have written on several topics, so we just need to read them as well. But I don't remember the name of any particular book because I am not kinda into reading all those books, so this is for the reason, I think. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Lucas, are you there?
I am here.
Please suggest a book that you would highly recommend to us. Do you have
I
any? Yes.
I like to read to have fun. I heard you guys want to read to learn things and all that kind of stuff. The best book I've heard, I had a lot of fun reading it, and I think that there is some kind of criticism to the society that we live in, but it's not right at your face. You've got to think a little bit about that and see for yourself. And the book is, there is also the movie, but I think that the book is better. It's called Hunger Games. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, yeah, it's good.
Yes, I know. There's a movie about that, right?
Yeah, and the book can be fascinating. If you guys have some spare time, I think you can find it for free, like in Google, like Hunger Games PDF, and you can read the entire book. And it is out of this world. Fantastic. It's well written. Don't make you be rude to your family. Just that's a good thing. Yeah. It doesn't make you an evil person. It's just good, and there is some criticism that I really like.
All right. Oh, that's good. So now we're gonna
That's
go through
cool.
the songs. If you get the same feeling by listening to a song, because the song probably talks about a story, And what I most like about songs is the heartbreaking situation, you know? They're kind of my favorite type of songs that talk about pain and heartbreak. Like, I want revenge, you know, like I am hurt and I am better right now. Do you feel like that? There are great songs about heartbreaking stories, and there's songs that talk about good stories. Do you have any songs that catches your eye and you feel like this is a good story? Just like from a movie or from a book. Anyone?
I'm a fan of those. How can I say? Uh, those indie songs, you know, like the sad and that is a melodic, you know, background sound. There is a song that I have discovered a couple of years ago, which is called "The Ghost on the Shore," and it is a song that tells the story of a man who had a lake, and after he passes away, he cannot go to the other side because he's too attached to his lake. It is not like he's a evil spirit, you know, but he just didn't want his life to go away. Like he didn't want to die, you know, and he just wanted to live in his lake for a longer time. And in this song, he usually mentions that everybody who passes by his lake is going to see the image of him there, you know, like on the shore, enjoying his lake and something like that. It's an interesting song about being attached to material things, you know, to things that live with us,
Oh,
live
that's
with us, things that are around us, you know.
you more into the lyrics or the melody of songs? Like,
I think it is important to have both the lyrics and the melody, you know, because there are some good lyrics with bad melody. You know, there are some really good lyrics with bad melody that I don't listen to because of the melody, which is not that good.
oh, I understand. Oh, Maima, are you there? Do you have any songs or lyrics that you're into? And can you share to us, please?
Okay, first, I don't listen to music just really, and I haven't talked about the book that I recommend, so we'll talk about the book. And
Oh, yeah.
the book is 1984 by George Orwell. It's an amazing book. Actually, I read it in Arabic, in my native language, to understand this better. And it's talking about how the world is going on and everything is going on in life, and how these people have this authority, don't let us to think, to have an idea about what is going on. They just want us to work and not to talk, not to think, and not to do anything. It's really an amazing book, and I recommend everyone to read it. It's really amazing. I don't want it to stop this suspense. I really want you to read it. It's really will help. So I read it and I understand a lot of things, like why we have this war in the world, why this media controlling us, and so on. It's really a good book you can really read. So that's it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry if I haven't gotten over you about books. I'm so
No
sorry.
problem, no problem.
It's actually really hard hosting a meeting, so I have this memory issues. So I'm so sorry. So
No,
you're
no
not into
problem.
songs. You're not into English
Really,
songs.
no. I was listening to them, I think 3 years ago. Now I don't know why I stopped listening to music. I don't know actually.
What about Arabic songs? No songs at all?
Yeah, but rarely when I listen to music, just when I was searching and I find someone to listen, just rarely.
Oh, okay.
I understand.
Well, personally, I feel really attached to songs, you know? Like, I feel like I am living in the lyrics. I love storytelling, as I said, especially if they talk about heartbreaking situations. Now everyone knows heartbreaking heart. Everyone knows the situation, and you kind of go through the emotions, and I don't know. That feels special to me, you know. Just like the "I Will Survive" lyrics, like the classic ones are the best ones for me,
Definitely.
and they
Yeah.
are amazing. Totally. Abdul, do you feel like that? Abdul.
Hi. Yeah, hello. I'm here. Do you
Do you
hear me
feel like
right
that
now?
about songs? About lyrics of songs, or you're not so into them?
I think listening to music, especially English music, it's a great way to learn English, especially the new expressions, and also for those people, for broken heart people, who are so yeah. There's many songs that I follow right now. I like their lyrics, and also I do that just to enjoy and also learning English. And for example, the last one I heard is for Dua Lipa, if you know it. That's
Sounds familiar.
I think Dua Lipa.
It's great. I really like it.
Yeah. If you don't want to see me dancing with another, you know. Do you know that?
No, can you type it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, one that goes,
think.
if you
Oh,
don't
repeat
wanna
just one
see
more time.
me, then sit with
Dancing with
somebody. That's
Go
it.
away. Don't show up.
Okay.
That's great. I like it so much.
Song.
It's a good
I
song,
for
actually.
it. Yeah, you don't.
All right. So, why do you feel the need to do that? Like, if you're sad, let's say hypothetically, I am sad and I want to listen to a sad song and I
Sorry?
feel connected to it. Do you feel like, did you ever feel like that, Andrea?
Yeah, I have. I have felt like that. I'm really extremely connected to songs. For each mood, I have a song, but I wanted to talk about a specific song because when I want to sit down and just listen, I don't want to dance, I don't want to, do anything. Just listen, really. I like listening to music from California, like Orange County, that kind of area. So I'm a really big fan of No Doubt. It's a band where Gwen Stefani was the main vocal singer. And one of the songs that really hit home to me is it's called Rewinding. And it's about you getting so far ahead in doing something and then everything just starts going backwards, it just keeps going back. And another good song by her is by the group, actually, the band broke up, is called Don't Speak. And it's not literally saying don't speak, it's saying I know what you're trying to say, so please don't speak, and I like songs like that have hidden messages that tell a story. I think it's really, really good to hear stuff like that. But any type any type of music, I'm very eclectic. I listen to hip hop, I listen to country music, all types of music. Music is a really big part of me teaching and learning English and new words. Like, it's the best way for me to do so. I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Well, thank you very much. Would you like to comment this? Thank you very much. Would you like to comment, anyone? Are you there, guys? Would you like to
Anybody
comment
wants to say anything?
Yeah, I totally agree with her. It's listen music. It's the best way to learn English and new
I think by picking
vocabulary.
up vocabulary, songs are a good strategy
Yeah,
to pick
yeah,
up the pronunciation, you know, and vocab. So pick up more words. Not
yeah.
so much about grammar, right?
Yeah,
But
not so
to
much
learn
about
more words.
grammar.
And
They are
especially for
great.
constructions, you know, in music we find a lot of constructions and the way how it sounds on the native speaker say it. In this way, you can try to
Yeah,
do the same. Yeah,
Yeah, like they have like an
that's
informal
true.
kind of language, and that we don't get out of a grammar book or something like that. I think they're amazing too. So guys, that's it. We're gonna finish the meeting. Okay. Thanks for
Okay.
being here. We're gonna have the next Friday meeting at 10 a.m. Actually, we're gonna have another one tonight because there are people that can't be with us during the morning. But the next Friday meeting, morning meeting, is going to be about accents and English fluency, English proficiency, what it is about and stuff. I'm gonna send you by the group, okay? And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. I from the bottom of my heart. Okay. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye
okay,
bye
thank you
guys.
Thank
so
you
much.
for the meeting.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye
have,
guys.
bye.
have, a,
Mwah.
Have a good
have
day.
Kisses.
have a good one.
Have a good one, guys. It was really good meeting. Really good. Fantastic.
Bye bye, Andrea.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.